I think it probably always works, honestly.
All right. I'd call to order the meeting, Board of Works tonight, and I'll stand for the pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Brian Nader,
Present.
Brandon Carrico,
Present.
Danny Clark,
Present.
Mark McAtee,
Present.
Dana Strange.
Here.
Attorney Stephen Peterball,
Present.
Attorney Lori Carrico.
Like to get a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meetings. There's two, copies here. One's December 16th, the other one's December 9th. So we'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Guess I'd like to welcome our new board member here, Dana Strange. Next item on the agenda is utility department vehicles. I asked Bo to give you guys a rundown of some vehicles we need to look at replacing, and Bo, I'll let you have the floor.
Contacted 4 local dealerships: Sternberg's, Rutgers, Hubelors, and Dobson's. There are none readily available. As far as we're looking at a 3/4 ton full-size truck, regular cab. Started looking at 3 utility beds. So I've got 3 trucks that are 20+ years old. They're 2003s. One of them's still in halfway decent shape, doesn't need tires. I told them to hold off on tires till we find out what we're gonna do. The other 2 are, they'll be down the road. Hopefully with cops in front of us, not behind us. They're in bad shape. So with that being said, to cut through a lot of the chase, what we do have is 2 trucks with utility beds and 1 straight truck. Started looking at 3 utility trucks. I'd really like to be able to get one as soon as possible, because the 2 out of the sewer plant are in that bad shape. Currently, nobody has utility beds available. They'd have to be, they're cab chassis, they have to have beds put on them. So you're looking at 60 days. Looking at 2024s and 2025s. I got 2 quotes on in stock, regular cab, straight bed, 8-foot bed trucks, 3/4 ton 4-wheel drive. The prices are 2 of them 2024s, Ram 2500s, $47,908. Same truck, they're not, obviously not identical. $45,665
And that's for the Ram.
for the Ram. The other one that I got a quote for in stock is a 2024 F-250, $45,575.
Is that 45? Is that included utility beds, Bo?
No, those are just straight beds.
That's
in stock, straight bed.
Okay. How many utility beds you want 2 utility beds or 3?
Well, I'm looking at 3, but we really need a truck now.
Yeah.
I mean, 60 days, and I'm kind of getting to that point. I would like to go ahead and get the F-250, it's the cheapest, it's
8-foot
within
bed.
dollars, 8-foot bed, in stock from Dobson at $45,575.
Gas or diesel, or
Yes.
gas?
Gas or diesel?
Gasoline, gasoline. Diesels don't work out too well for us. A lot of start and stop them just in town. They don't hold up well. They're good vehicles, good motors. If we were out where we drove them like they should be driven, it'd be different. But around town, in my experience, they don't hold up.
Yep.
And they are more expensive, obviously, and more expensive to maintain. And technically, you'd have to leave them, in my eyes, my thoughts, you'd wanna leave them, even if you're idle, leave them running. We don't like to do that. Moving forward, there's, with the dealers, there are 2024s available, but they would have to go to the shop to have bed swaps. In the neighborhood of $57,000 to $58,000 a piece. I can elaborate if you want me to, but here's where I'm going with this. A 2025 Ram 2500 is $51,909. So there's about $6,000 savings for 2 trucks. $12,000 for 2 trucks, 6,000 apiece, plus or minus. Has to be ordered, has to have a bed put on it. You're probably looking at 90 to 120 days.
Are you just ordering cab and chassis?
This is, I'll go ahead and say, that price is through Sternberg's. They have not ordered their 2025s. I can make a phone call, they'll order them. They anticipate getting them within 60 days probably, and then having the bed swap. And that would just be cab chassis, and they'd go do the beds at that point.
You blower didn't have anything on the lot down there in Russell?
Nothing 4-wheel drive. I'll take that back, they may have, but again, we're $6,000 higher in price. $12,000, that's a snowplow, basically.
Yeah.
That's equipping a truck with a snowplow. And in conversation with the mayor, he would like to see us, all these trucks have snowplows, be snowplow ready. 2 of the 3 trucks we currently have, one was on the truck that I had, the 2002 F-250. It's been parked for a couple of years. It has a snowplow on it, so we've got the plow. Obviously, the mounts would be different. One of the utility trucks has a snowplow on it. Again, those plows are just as old as the trucks. They're 2002, 2003s. A lot of wear and tear. You probably take 2 of the plows and make one, good one, as a backup. Have one for parts.
However, you're saying the mounts would be different. You mean if you went to Dodge?
If we went with
Instead of
any,
Ford,
if we went with any new truck,
the mounts
the
would be different.
unimount is gonna be different.
I figured it'd be all kind of, as long as it's on a Ford, not right back to the Ford.
No, the frames have changed
Yeah.
over the years. Bumpers and frames and stuff have all changed over the years, so. Again, I guess to sum it up, my recommendation would be to get the 24 F-250 from Dodson at $45,575, ready to go. And then order the 2 2025 Ram 2500s at the quoted price of $51,909.
What condition are your snow blades in?
The 2 that we have, probably take 2 and make one, and they're running rubber blades, all the new plows that we've been getting recently are all steel blades.
You like those better? Steel blades?
It cuts better. I don't like to ride.
Yeah, they're rough. Was that 51,000 what, Bo?
$51,909.50.
And that's one that's ready to go right now.
No, those would
That's
be
the
the
Dodges.
2025.
These would be the ones that have to order, all the Dodges.
Yes. The
Do we
one
need-
ready to go right now is the 2024 F-250 for $45,575.
Do we need these snow plows in your estimation? How many more years are gonna milk these out? The ones you got?
Two of them are 2018s. Plow and truck. The snow plows are in good shape.
Okay,
So we haven't
I
had
thought you
much
said
snow.
you had two, you could make one.
Well, we got two, we can make one
Oh,
for one of these new trucks. The other two trucks that we order in, by next
Okay,
winter, we
I
have them
misunderstood.
snow plow ready. And you're probably looking in the neighborhood of $10,000 each.
Is there a reason why you're not going with quad cab? Is it just cost savings, or I figured quad cabs are kind of the way to go nowadays. Single cab are kind of hard to find nowadays.
I look for extend cabs. What's out there is two-wheel drive that's ready to go. Felt like single cabs was sufficient for around town, especially with utility beds. The truck I drive is a extended cab, it's not a quad cab. It's handy if we go, if there's 4 or 5 of us going to a meeting in French Lick or someplace locally. It's handy to have. That way
I was just
drive
thinking if they had
multiple.
one on the lot, they'd have a higher probability of having a quad cab on the lot to sell than a.
I asked for availability and there wasn't anything. What was available was two-wheel drive. And if we're gonna equip them with snow plows, that don't.
Any further discussion? Anyone wanna make a motion to go ahead and get the, F-250 right now? Also the other two, pending approval with the council on the monies.
I'll make that motion, because this is long overdue.
And I'll second
All in favor?
Aye.
And just to comment on it, first, thank you, much needed. And when I call them on the two that we would order, I'm gonna have to find out about leasing them versus buying them straight out.
So how come you're going with the Dodges as opposed to Fords, not just kind of pure fleeting? 'Cause most of the other ones are Fords, right?
Ford, Chevrolet, and I had Sternberg's also, cause they've got the Ford dealership in Dale. You're looking at $52,000 versus $58,000. So $6,000 savings each vehicle.
Mhm.
It's substantial.
it. Is this the tradesman one?
Yes. I asked for a big one, but I didn't think it's like very good. No, I'm kidding.
All righty, thank you, Bill. Next item, I would like to see us, used to be this way back in the day, and I don't like to refer back in the day, but this should have been done a long time ago, is that currently Bo's the wastewater, water, street department, park department head, whatever department we have is basically the department head. Back in the day, we had a water superintendent, wastewater superintendent, and a street department. And the street department also took care of the park at that time. As we all know, Bo was gonna be retiring here, later this year. And
6 months, 6 days, 23 hours.
I don't care who you are, even if it's Bo, it's too much for one person to do, and it's been going on for too long.
Amen.
And because the water and wastewater alone needs to have a single person doing each one, to be honest. because there's that much stuff that you have with regulations and stuff, but we need to look at developing a street department head. I'd like to see us do that. Then we'll figure something out on budget-wise, but we need to get this set up. So I get a motion to go ahead and bring back the street department head position.
If I might, it is much needed. I am overwhelmed. I've got good people. You guys are good to work with. I've got a good crew that supports me. I can't do it alone. They can't. So it is much needed to have somebody that is at least a department head. We've talked about this for a year, the mayor and I, and it's the direction to go. We couldn't offer it to anybody without having the position developed and knowing what we'd offer them to pay.
I'll make that motion.
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Had a request to put a handicap parking in front of Eagle Place Apartments, that's the old St. John's School, out in front of the, school itself on the road. They currently have several parking places across the road in the parking lot, there's 3 or 4 there. I'm gonna play devil's advocate on this, they've got the parking places, the only thing I see with putting a handicap parking there, especially with the apartments the way they are, is I know whenever we have fire runs right now and you got cars that park there, they've got to put all, or EMT service, the fire responds as well. We're out there parking in the middle of the road. We got people still trying to get through, and if we do handicap parking there, then it's gonna be an issue trying to get in. Really what ought to be done out there in front of that building is no parking in a certain amount of area should be put out there instead of a handicap. That's just my personal opinion. Chief, Fire Chief, would you guys wanna talk about that or put your input in on this as well?
I think if we had a space, because we have to get cots, through there, and it does cause an issue. Because a lot of times if they're parking, doing at the ball game or something, or practice, they're parked all the way up that way. If we do that, it's gonna limit us, getting the ambulance crew getting a cot in through there.
I've seen it.
We've had to track back and come back up to the ambulance or
You're talking
something.
that side ramp, right?
Yeah, side ramp, or we use stair chairs bringing down the steps
Yeah.
as well. So, if they're too close there, we have an issue.
The only problem is you can't do any type of marking on that now until summertime, because nothing's gonna stick on, you can put up some temporary signs or something, but,
And I think too, doing that as well, having a space, people that park across the street that have walkers or something, that can still walk or something, they'll still have access to get up there on the sidewalk. So, totally blocking it, I wouldn't. be
Well, I've
one thing.
noticed, when like the ball games are going on at the gym, you got, grandparents come to watch their grandkids, but now they're parking over at the center in that parking lot. They're having something going on there. It's really a mess down there. See, St. John's owns that parking lot.
Yep.
I noticed that before.
but they want a handicap place out there in front of the building on the road, and
Someone's got a sign out there. And she throws her cone out there all the time, so I don't know if she put the sign up and it's not enforced by ordinance or what, but
it's not that I'm aware
yeah,
of.
she'll put her cone out there and tell people if they're near it and
So need a motion to either approve or disapprove.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
To approve it or disapprove it?
You guys wanted a handicap spot there.
Got several across the street, but anyway, he's made it, Mark's got a motion on the floor, anybody want a second?
I thought the fire chief requested one out front of the building.
he wants it open so he can get his stuff in. Right?
Yeah, I want it open. If you put something there, if you put something, it's up to you guys, but I'm just saying it needs to be an open space so we can
Okay.
get through in and out. I mean,
Yeah, and can I make some additions to that too? So, elaborate on this a little bit. So also, if you're looking down the street, and of course on the right-hand side, so south side of the street is the actual apartments, right? On the north side of the street, there's a little strip there, and that's where we try to pull off, because we go on the calls too. So we try to pull off as well as the ambulance there. The only issue is that shouldn't be parking either. It'd be kind of like parallel, if that makes sense, on the north side of the road. That should be totally open, and then we can get emergency vehicles, because we get a lot of calls at Eagle Place. So, in fact, we had one this morning, right? So, but on the north side, if we could just keep traffic off that will keep that whole lane open on the north side in front of Eagle Place. It's kind of hard to do without a board, but because the actual parking lot is just a little to the north of that. But that's where we try to, all the fire and myself and the ambulances and the other officers, that's where we try to park and not block that road. But then we have people that park along there, which shouldn't be there, but I don't have authority to tell them to move until I get it, right? And we can establish that ordinance to have them move and actually park in the real parking lot instead of right there on the side of the road. Does that make sense to everybody? So that's another issue we're having, because when they do park on that north side there, not in the parking lot, then we have to park in the road to get the cot out, to get inside and get the patients out, right?
And
So-
Chief, have you noticed, and I've noticed this for a couple of years now already, parking lot's not getting used a lot.
And that's see, that's what I'm saying, because it's closer, right? It's
Yeah, I
10
understand
steps
that.
closer.
But seriously, the parking lot's not getting used, that's why we're having,
Well, they actually resurfaced that parking lot now, so it's actually a really good parking lot.
It is.
Up
but
until
you
that
keep an
point
eye on
was-
it,
But they're not using
they're
it.
Well,
not
you gotta
using
park
it.
right next to the door.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's what's causing all this backup.
it is. And that's my point. That's
Yeah.
where what needs to be cleared, right?
Yeah.
Now, the handicap's fine. I would
Oh,
love,
yeah.
I love handicap parking, especially for the elderly, right?
Yes.
But this north side of the road that's just south of the parking lot,
Mhm.
that needs to maintain being open for emergency vehicles. If we have to have the street department or somebody come out, paint some lines and say emergency vehicles only or something, because we're there literally probably every day or once a day. I mean, I was there at 6:30 this morning, so.
Well, if you have to take a patient, it's probably not very safe to push them across the road in a cot.
Well, it doesn't matter, because we block it, because we're the ones usually pushing the cart, helping with the cot going across, and fire and us and everybody, right? So that's not the problem, it's, we can't get in that lane,
Yeah.
right? So to get off the road, so we can have
Because they're not
traffic.
using their facility.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Hey, Mayor, withdraw my motion to approve handicap, either that or rephrase it, maybe assign emergency vehicle parking only.
well, they asked for a handicap parking in front of Eagle Place Apartments, that's what we have to address here. Then we can go back and,
I was just thinking, you know, if we do an ordinance that do no parking all the way up there, that really get them going. I mean, but that's what needs to happen based off the emergency vehicles and stuff.
Well, like I said, I've never really brought it up, I know it's always been an issue,
Yeah.
but I didn't know whose property that belongs to and how much easement that the city has on either side of that road, does that make sense? So that's why I never brought it up, because we try to park, fire and us, try to park on that north side there, you know, so.
anybody wanna entertain the motion?
See, my motion would be not to grant the handicap, but to do the no parking from a safety standpoint.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Utility adjustments. All look good?
Yeah, I didn't see any issues with the ones I verified, the others are reasonable.
Okay. Get a motion to approve the utility adjustments as presented.
I'll make a motion.
My second.
All in favor?
Aye.
there is one there that was water and wastewater. Due to a leak at the meter itself, the meter was,
You signed off on it.
yes.
One other thing I did not have on here, we got a estimate to get the house torn down on North Street that we bought. Tear that down is coming out of the ARPA money, so it's $6,000 from that. Matthew's excavating, I'd like to go ahead and get that, motion to get that approved, to get that structure taken down.
Yeah, include the garage.
The garage is an extra 1,000. We can probably take that down, the backwood structure. Yeah. So need a motion on that.
I'll make that motion.
A motion by Brandon, second.
I'll second it.
Mark, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, department reports. Short and sweet.
Identifies that. Water treatment plant, 14.2 million gallons, average day of 457,000, 7.48 million gallons sold to Davies County Rural Water. Wastewater treatment plant, up quite a bit, 21.26 million gallons, at an average of 69% capacity. The annual average for 2024 as far as capacity was 48% capacity. We had 54 service calls, 101 line locates, and 246 office calls. And just roughly on time for snow removal in the past 8 days, 9 days. I got with Daniel, he's our lead employee. He had approximately 77 hours of snow removal. And so probably the 4 or 5 of us that were out there, we're also doing training on some of the newer employees that have never been in the trucks. They've been in trucks, they've just not been involved in snow removal. So I'm guesstimating that we each had anywhere about 50 to 80 hours each in the past 9 days on snow removal.
I think you guys done a good job. You got on top of it. And had you waited with these older trucks, you probably wouldn't have got it moved.
I'm gonna speak on this for a minute. You know, everybody likes to get on Facebook and say all their jargon or whatever, but you can't compare Loogootee to Washington, Jasper, or anything like that. Washington Street Department probably has more people on it just alone than what we have as a whole city and all the departments. They have 15 snow plows. We have 3, actually 4, but one's down because it's 2001. It's not working. So you take that into what we had happen here in the last week and a half or week. We've had more snow in the last week and a half than we have in the last decade or decade and a half. And I'm gonna stand up for our people here in the city because they did an excellent job. And then, you know, everybody was watching the news, watching Facebook and whatever, and what was the first thing they were saying? Stay home. So those of you that got out and had an accident, maybe you had to go somewhere, you know, I understand. But don't come back and blame us on the roads because they're not cleared yet, because Jasper put out a thing, they weren't even clearing roads until after everything was done. We got out there the next morning or I can't remember what it was,
That night.
that night.
That Sunday,
You
we
know,
were out by noon,
and
and it started snowing
our
about 10.
employees are doing the best job they possibly can do with the equipment and everything that we have. We don't use salt. We just about ran out of sand. We had two triaxles come in today. But these people, our employees here, when you're bashing the city for snow or removal or not being removal, you're bashing these people that work for the city. And that's not right. Because no one out there, until you go out there and do it yourself, realize what they go through and what they have to go through. They miss their dinners and all that stuff. It's not just, plowing snow is an art. You can't just go out there and plow it. And I will stick up wholeheartedly for our whole crew that's done this last week and a half. And I'll just say it right now, we're expected to get more. So, you know, it's patient. If you don't need to be anywhere, don't go. If you can move your cars off so we can clear snow, that would be great. But don't berate our employees for what they're trying to get done. It's not fair to them or anything. And like I said, I take my hat off for what they've done and how they've been able to do it. And I appreciate what you guys have done.
Thank you very much.
Thank
The staff appreciate it.
you.
Thank you.
And honestly, we do take it personal. It may not make a difference to some people, but we take it personal. We're doing the best job we can.
And you can't do anything about ice.
No.
I mean, you can't. You can plow the snow, but you really can't do anything about ice. It's
We
there.
had snowed for several days and we're still out there pushing slush off the road to get it away.
And they're not the only ones that was out there. I'll say this, I was out in the backhoe for several hours on Saturday night. I didn't get off that till 8:30 at night. Moving stuff around. Cause the one thing that happens when you're pushing snow, when you get to an intersection and they pile it up, you can only push that so high. So I was out there trying to clear intersections back with the backhoe, get snow pushed up so we had better line of sight and also more mobility to getting around. But anyway, I'll get off my rampage. Fire chief.
Just let everybody know, in 2024, we finished with a total of 540 calls. That's 216 fire calls and related issues, and then 324 medicals. You know, our medicals is gonna be our biggest part of it. And, you know, a lot of, some lift assist and difficulty breathings and things like that. So I just kinda wanna let everybody know, our call volume has increased, and I look for it to just continue. You know, we got some good crews and stuff. We got guys that just like, you know, miss suppers and things like that as well, but not like, I'm not trying to compare, but yeah. But anyway, our calls have increased. I do want to let everybody know that, I mentioned this before, Mike has stepped down as assistant chief. He's taken the role as firefighter. He's been assistant chief, or he's been in the fire department and for 57 years plus right now, still going. I'm trying to get him to just take a back seat, but you know, he's got that in his blood and everything else, so he said he'll do a firefighter. I did move Justin Davis up as the assistant chief, which left us a lieutenant position open, and that is appointed by the assistant chief and fire chief, and we appointed Daniel Schultz in that position. So, and that's basically about it.
All right, thank you. Chief, short and sweet.
Just short and sweet. We had 7 cases, 6 arrests, and 133 activities, calls. I want to say something as well. Yeah, I know I'm the chief of police, but I'm also a citizen. You know, these guys, I know the mayor really harped on it, kind of took some of my thunder away, but, you know, these guys work their guts out on this snow. And, you know, I don't get on Facebook, you know, I don't even look at it. I've got an account, but I don't even get on it. But my point of that is I've heard all these Facebook posts, and it really aggravates me to death. There is not, I am so sick of people complaining all the time. Why don't we come together as a town, a city, and look at the good things that's happening in the city? I don't understand where all this negativity, I know we're gonna have negative people, but where all this negativity is coming from. These guys busted their butt. So in fact, I have a elderly lady that lives behind me. She couldn't get out in the snow. She left somewhere, came back, and the snow was too deep, she couldn't get in. They came and actually plowed and got her back into her home. So, and this was like late at night, right? This is not like in the middle of the day. So, additionally, this ice, right? We don't have the tax base to get salt and all this other stuff and what's it called?
Brine.
Brine, that's the word I'm looking for.
Brine or brine.
The brine, all this other stuff, right? We don't have that tax base. So I wish people would get off their high horse and see at least what the city's trying to do here. The mayor was actually out there in a backhoe, clearing roads, right? Come on, man, that's the mayor and he's out there. This is absolutely asinine. Everybody needs to come together, right? And see what is going on in our city. I'm proud to be here. I'm proud of my position. I'm proud of all my officers. We were out in it, man. I mean, we don't get days off. We can't stay at home, right? All our officers were out in it. And they made sure the roads were at least passable so we could go to calls, right? Our calls don't stop just because there's snow, right? Or a flood or whatever the nature throws at us. But I'm telling you, I've been around the town a long time, and I've never seen the town, or the city, I guess I shouldn't say town, the city the way it is now. It has came a long way from just a year, 2 years ago. And everybody has one goal in mind, and that's to make this city better. And I don't know where all this negativity is coming from. And it's actually frustrating me. It's a good thing I don't get on Facebook, because I'd walk around mad all the time, right? Why don't we come together as a city? This is absolutely asinine. So these guys work their guts out. All these guys, I'm with the fire department all the time, with the city all the time. You guys don't see what they do behind the scenes. They don't just sit in their truck and drink coffee, right? They're out there busting their butt. And I'm getting emotional on it because it's really honking me off. And it doesn't take a lot to get me mad, but this has really got me mad. So, people, if you don't have anything good to say about this city, don't get on Facebook. That is absolutely, or run it down. That does not solve anything. Might make your feelings feel better, but let's be good citizens here. The mayor's busted his butt. These guys, the council, we all of us, my whole department, we have nothing but the city's best interest in mind. And I know these guys do as well. But why don't you guys support people, and not you guys, but whomever is making these posts? I don't even know, don't care. But why don't we all support each other instead of trying to knock each other down? That does not make a lick of sense to me. We're on the same daggone town. Hell, we're probably all related to each other in some form or fashion, right? So there is no, well,
We are.
but
Go, Brian.
in all sincerity, why don't we all come together instead of degrading and disparaging each other? That just is, I can't wrap my head around it.
With going on that, I want to bring one other thing up here.
I'm sorry, I'm ranting, but
I didn't expect her to walk in, but I do want to give a huge congratulations to Officer Clark there, because we had someone that wasn't able to get out and get medicine, and she was able to go do that and pick it up, and that's going above and beyond the call of duty, and Officer Clark
I call
appreciate
that
that
good
greatly.
police work.
I'm sorry?
I call that good community policing.
That's
It
right.
is. But we can all complain about stuff, and like last past year, we never paved the right street, didn't matter what street we paved, and it is what it is. But we can come up with solutions if you don't like what we're doing. Yeah. So anyway,
And just one last thing, come on, let's all come together, man. This is stupid, all right?
In
So-
1980, 1981, I worked here for a short period of time. They had 2 backhoes and a flatbed. That was their form of snow removal. We stood on the back of that flatbed truck and shoveled sand in the road. Fortunately, we didn't have Facebook back then.
Well, I remember my dad and your dad,
Yep.
an old 73 Chevy half-ton
Yep.
with a 3-speed on the column, wasn't it? Clutch was going down in the first gear. That's what they shoved snow with.
well, in 2000, going back in 2003, we only had one snowplow. Before we got out of office, we ended up having 3 snowplows. So we were trying to be proactive here. So
And
with the vehicles and stuff here where we're at, I mean, here we are 20-some years later, because we bought these vehicles before we left office last time.
You know, Brian, about this salt deal, a lot of towns and cities has done away with
You
it.
can't afford it.
Well, not just that, people doesn't realize what it does to your concrete driveways.
Concrete, pavement.
Yes, it eats it up. I'm glad we don't use it.
But I'll go back to it. I think our
There's been a
street
few
department
years
and
that
our other
there's
departments
been
have done great.
Salt shortages,
Mhm.
and that's also driven up the price.
There's
No further business. Motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
our chief, you just got lucky, not that your guys are not doing a good job, but you'd have had a hell of a time if we'd had a big fire. and-
Yeah, I just turned around. It's good seeing you, buddy. It's been all around us.
I guess because their cameras are working.
I warmed it up with
I'm gonna say no, they want those.
Up, see, there you go.
Already said I had to.
Okay,
I already said I had to analyze on this one, but, the update, so,
hell with that waiting tomorrow.
so you can skip me. I thought it plays at Sam. I don't have anything, so.
Okay, we're going to call the meeting to order. Stand for pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
You know, Brian, my voice is not here tonight.
Present.
Mike Engelman,
Present.
Carol Rayhill.
Here.
Mark McAtee,
Present.
Jim Collin,
Here.
Dave Smith,
Here.
Attorney Stephen Tieberbaugh,
Present.
and Clerk Treasurer Lori Carrico, present.
If you had a chance to look over the minutes of past month's meetings, get a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll make the motion. Second.
Carol, okay. All in favor? Okay. Claims and allowances. Make a motion to approve the claims as presented. Carol, okay.
Second.
All in favor? Under old business, under new business, reorganization of the council. Does anybody want to make a motion as
I make the motion that
to
we
the
rename Mike,
council president?
as council president.
Okay. Got a motion, second?
Second.
All in favor? Okay. The board appointment that I have is gonna stay the same, except I did make a change on the board of works. Dana Strange is on there. And then we do have, the board of zoning appeals, Dana Strange, Eric Thomas, Brandon Carrickle, and Jimmy Hunt. And then, we got the redevelopment commission, which we are still working on, but the people that serve on the redevelopment commission is gonna be Dana Strange, Mark Sheets, most people know him as Maida, Samantha Alvarez, Justin Carrickle, and Dave Smith. Now, for that committee, 3 was appointed by myself and 2 from the council members, so we got those from them. Chief kinda gave the fire update at the last meeting.
Yeah.
You wanna expand on anything else?
No, we did.
Everything good in the fire department?
so far.
Okay. Last, we talked about the utility department on the vehicles. You heard Bo discuss that. I'd like to get approval to move forward on that as far as the purchase of the first 2024 truck, and then also get the other ones ordered. And like he said, we'd like to go ahead and we by the time we get the trucks, we don't really need snow blades or anything, but I do wanna see all our equipment outfitted with snow plows. So we can address, do it all at one time, and we can get the other two vehicles on a lease program like they did prior. Basically pay for it all year, at the end of that first year, then you just pay $1 or whatever they want, so.
The lease program runs a year and you pay so much a month, right?
Yeah.
It's coming out of.
That's what it was, the last time they did it, and they, split between water and sewer.
Split between water and sewer.
I think, hang on, all three of them between water and sewer, or one sewer?
Yeah, one's used in both departments. One of them is primarily water and the other vehicle is primarily sewer, so
It's a wash.
it's pretty much 50-50 split.
Yes, Gary?
On that vehicle purchases and everything, I think it's a great idea. I think several years ago, this is probably 20 years ago, they bought several vehicles at one time, and they were supposed to try to set them up on a maintenance program, trade them out every so often and get a new one in. Has that been looked at this time? Is there something we can do that way so we don't get hit with a big cost at one time?
Yes, that's something we are looking at. And the last time they bought, when I was in office, and it was right before we went out in 2003, we bought four trucks. At that time, we bought 4 trucks. And I can't say what,
You come back with quotes and ask for approval and it's denied.
so.
And it all just became a debt issue.
We've actually talked that in every department, police department and water sewer department. I mean, that's something we're setting up, trying to, on the average right now, I think our police cars run 6,000 miles a year on each car. So most communities that I've been looking at and talking with, they're like on an 8-year rotation. And that can vary, and that's what we need to get our stuff here like that, to where we're planning ahead. We know 7 years from now, since we just bought tires for the fire trucks, if we continue to have these fire trucks, we know 7 years from now, we gotta have new tires on them. That's by law. So, yes, that's.
Well, that's where the trucks too.
Yes.
You won't have them all wear out at one time and then not have any to do the snow removal and all that. If you put them in a rotation,
Well,
you should have at
And
least a
unfortunately, we're back where we need to buy 3 at one time. And hopefully what would happen is that we could take and get 8 years out of one, 9, 10, and then get on a different rotation. We're not taking all that out at one time, but it all depends on what we come across with and what type of work we're having and what happens. So, but yes, that is our goal. So thank you. So can I get a motion, or someone to entertain a motion on the purchase of the 3 trucks and blades?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, Mike, second with Mark, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Ordinance amendment to the ordinance. I'll let our city attorney handle this.
This will be ordinance number 2025-1, whereas the city of Loogootee passed an ordinance to repeal and recreate establishing the regulation and costs for the use of city property, hereby amends said ordinance as follows. Section A3 shall be amended to include the following language. Extraordinary services shall not include the services the city determines are necessary as a result of the reaction of others to the special event or to prevent the disruption of or interference with a special event. Section A5A shall be amended to include the following additional language, and which will have at least 15 people attending the event. Section C2 paragraph shall be stricken from the ordinance. Section D3 shall include the additional language, the estimates of the cost for providing extraordinary services shall not include the cost for personnel and equipment the city determines are necessary as a result of the reaction of others to the special event or to prevent disruption or interference with the special event. Section F1D5 shall be amended as follows. The location of the proposed event, including proposed parking locations and streets to be used if applicable. Such areas of the city that are available are as follows. The first being the Loogootee City Park or the green space area located in downtown Loogootee. An applicant may choose either location so long as the anticipated size of the event does not create an unsafe environment for the attendees of the event. If both locations cannot safely contain the number of expected attendees and vendors, the green space area shall be used along with streets around or near said green space area sufficient to conduct the event safely. In determining whether the size of an event will exceed the space available in either or both locations, and in determining how many streets must be closed to safely conduct the event, the Board of Works will consider the following. The most significant and compelling evidence of the size of a proposed event is the number of attendees and vendors of prior years of that event. Other information from the applicant, including proposed changes and additions to the event, may be considered, but such information must be more than speculation about the growth of the event. Section F1D11 shall be amended to remove the word organizer and shall replace the word with applicant. Section F1D15, the health, safety, and security paragraph shall be stricken. Section 6, the approval or denial of applications shall now read, the Public Board of Works may deny an application for a permit if the applicant has on prior occasions made material misrepresentations regarding the nature or scope of any event or activity previously permitted and has held prior special events without proper permit or licensing, or has violated the terms of a prior permit issued to or on behalf of the applicant. Additionally, the Board of Works may deny an application for permit on one or the more following grounds. And Section 6, approval or denial of application shall read as follows. Issuance. The Public Board of Works will approve or deny special event permit applications within 45 days and place conditions upon any permit. The applicant will be notified of the decision within 10 business days. Section G shall be amended to read as follows. Indemnity. The special event permit application will contain a statement that the applicant agrees to indemnify and hold harmless the city from and against all liabilities, claims, demands, judgment, losses, and all suits at law or in equity, costs, and expense, including reasonable attorney fees for injury or death of any person or loss or damage to the property of any person, firm, organization, or corporation arising out of or resulting from any act or omission on the part of the applicant relating to the applicant's use of the premises, any failure by applicant to maintain the premises and any areas adjacent thereto in the applicant's use and control, or applicant's failure to follow the terms of the permit or federal or state law. No permit may be issued unless the applicant has agreed to the terms of this statement on the written application. Section I, the following additional language shall be added. A significant change of circumstances does not include the anticipated reaction of others to the special event.
Need to ask someone to entertain a motion to approve the amended ordinance as presented.
I'll make the motion to approve the amendment to the ordinance.
Got Mike with a motion, second.
I'll second.
Jeremy, all in favor?
Aye.
Suspend the rules? That needs to be, motion to suspend the rules, pass it.
And it's done, we got a unanimous vote for it. Okay.
Do
Unanimous vote.
Yeah, we unanimous, all.
Okay.
We need to
It
entertain.
passes.
Okay, we're good,
Yes.
okay. All right, next item is a comprehensive plan. We are in the process of getting a new comprehensive plan for the city of Loogootee. Mike and I sat down with the gentleman, we're waiting for a proposal to come back, we ought to have that next week. Last one was done in 2009, so it's time to get it updated, especially with everything going on that we have going on in the area, so that's just for information purposes. We get that proposal back, we'll look at, probably have a meeting to go ahead and approve something on it if it comes back where we're at. Next item, Country Court 5, Michelle Carrico, SIPC.
Tonight, we have pay application number 4 from Dongrass Construction, and that is for the Country Court Infrastructure Project. The amount due on this pay application number 4 is $106,019.88. And again, the city will be submitting to ROI for the ready grant funds to be reimbursement for this amount for this pay application. Basis of it, some pipe went in during this work period, and then also a majority of the amount is for stored materials at this time. Does anyone have any questions regarding the project right now? I know the last couple of weeks, of course, they haven't got a whole lot done up there, so.
Any questions? I don't think so, Michelle.
Oh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Need a motion to approve that, as submitted, the pay on number 4.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Dave, second,
I'll second. Go ahead. Carol's got it.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you. Okay, next up, I've asked Mr. Hedrick to come here. We're trying to get our website utilized more and make it more user-friendly, so we're having him, do some things on it, and we also gotta add a few things, so I'll let you.
Yeah, so the website was originally built about 2 years ago, and in that project we designed it, built it for the previous administration, and left them with a user guide to say how to maintain it, how to update it, and we kept on a technical maintenance plan so that we would take care of any technical outages or technical issues that happened with the website, but content was left for the city to update and keep up to date and kind of do with it what they wanted based on how we originally built it and planned it out. Since then, we've been asked to kind of do things here or there to update the content for the city. So in the spirit of that, this year we've kind of set up an upgraded maintenance package so that we're actually handling content now. So there's a form that the city can fill out, the mayor's office can fill out, to kind of request us to do things that would be more efficient for us to do versus the city doing. So that could be general design upgrades on the website, content, event promotion, news releases, stuff like that. So, yeah, little things like that. And then on top of that, we're setting up a SMS text messaging system for emergency alerts. So people can opt into that to get those alerts in the next couple of weeks. We're still going through some of the regulatory hurdles to get that set up with the FCC. So 2 weeks or so, that should be set up for people to be able to opt in and start getting those alerts. It's supposed to be just for emergency type of alerts, so boil orders, tornado warnings, if there's a power line down, police activity, emergency stuff like that. So
Street closures.
street closures. Yeah. So any questions?
The key on that is you gotta opt in. We can't sign you up for it. And I think you said you gotta opt in 2 different places.
Yep. There's a double opt-in, so
To
reduce
verify.
spam, more efficient for the city, less cost.
So we do got some new stuff going, like, weather alerts or whatever, if it comes out for a tornado warning or severe thunderstorm, that's something that will automatically hit everybody's phones, whoever opts in. So it's just another service we're trying to add for the safety of the citizens, let them know what's going on here in the community. So appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, next item is the street department position. You heard what I talked about earlier about the street department with Bo being over, I don't wanna say overworked, but anyway, I know earlier we had it in the budget, when we was doing the budget and everything. It got taken out, but it's something we need to take a look at doing here and getting this taken care of sooner than later. Because it's just that much, and I don't get some discussion on you guys.
Is this do you have someone in mind that's already employed that would maybe get a promotion? You're starting from scratch?
It's been discussed amongst a couple of them. The way the handbook reads is we would have to open it up internal by application. And then if we don't have anybody that's suitable, then it goes public. So we do have a couple people that are interested.
Already on staff?
On staff, yes.
So you can't apply yet, Coach.
No. In your opinion, are they suitable?
Yes.
It's if they want to go, right?
If they want it, yes.
That's good.
So it'll be more of a promotion, more of a pay raise, and starting from scratch and creating a whole new paid position.
Training process. But more so in developing the position, we'd need probably a job description to go with it.
So for example, let's say Eric was on staff and he wanted to apply, stepped up. So we give him this promotion, extra money. Is there someone gonna have to go in and take his position? Or can this guy or woman fill?
I think that can be shuffled around. I don't think we're really creating we're creating a new position, but I don't think we're opening up more employees at this time.
So it's basically the title of current employees.
Correct. Keeping in mind that I am retiring. So there will be an opening of some sort.
Eventually.
We're working on trying to get people advanced within our current staff. I don't know that you need to run out and find somebody to replace me, but we are working on that. And as the mayor said, it's a lot for one person. It is too much for one person. I hope that I've served the community well, but a lot of it, I've swallowed a lot just because it's experience-based. I've got 40 years of experience, so it's not something that somebody's gonna step into that can handle it. It's gonna be a load, too much load for one person with no experience.
To expand on that, he's talking about the other people we're training right now. We've got 2 people that's actually doing an intern. Got an email last week, or week and a half ago. Both of them are doing very, very well, high scores and everything. So that's very positive that we're moving that in the right direction as far as getting the proper training and going through the internship program that they're offering for the water and sewer. So it's not gonna, you can't replace a gentleman like this with his experience and knowledge overnight. So, but we need to prepare for what's coming down the pipeline. And, we got a couple positions there and different things. We're gonna have to do some pivoting, so we'd like to ask the council to go back and reinstate or put in that street department head position.
You just want the title in the budget right now
Yeah.
without the funding?
Well, like I said, the funding's basically there for the person because they're already working for us. That may be, and I'm just throwing a number out. I don't know what the base pay is as where either one of the couple different people are, but it could be like a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 once you get the title raise on that. Cause you're already getting the insurance, they're already working the hours, so I mean, it's just a pay increase basically from the title, yes.
And I think the reason it was removed was because there was like $100,000 figure that was put on it, I think.
Yeah.
So-
And that's high, but
Yeah.
but the 100,000 covers, your insurance, your wages, retirement, and then that also comes out, for this particular street department head, like in the past, the funding come out of the MVH, in the park because they're over the park department, city, so there's a few different funding that's not coming just out of one area.
This position, we're just talking, as you said, roughly a few $1,000s, probably.
Yeah, it's-
I mean, give or take. We're not talking $100,000.
No,
Yeah.
no, we're talking
Yeah.
different.
The $100,000 that was originally put there was for a brand new,
Right,
not a
Yeah.
promotion, that was
Right.
to cover in case we
right.
had to get a whole new person, that was their salary, that was their benefits, that was everything, it would have covered. A promotion within would not cost that much.
Right.
So yeah, you're not talking an extreme amount of money for what we're asking. But we need to set up the city or the departments for success instead of failure. So would anybody like to entertain a motion on this?
I'll make the motion that we get that position back in the line item.
Okay, thank you. And I've got a second.
I second.
All in favor?
Alright.
Thank you, gentlemen. This is not on the agenda. I actually got 3 things here, guys. 4 things. Got a certified appointment back to the SIDC Board of Directors. I'm gonna do that like I have the last year. Usually the mayor sits on that. So we'll bring that up to you guys. Then also, in the past, they've done this, and I don't know exactly when, but we've had employees that's asked for like an early payout for vacation pay. And I know they've paid some out. I don't know what the exact amount is. Well, that request has come back up again. But there was no parameters on it per se. I don't have a problem with it, but I think in doing this, it needs to be set up in a policy to where the employee needs to be here at least a minimum of 20 to 25 years, getting close to being on their way out. So,
I exceeded that one.
yeah. But we don't really have anything in writing on that, but I think we need to establish that, because one thing we don't want to have is, say you have an employee that's only here 2 years. I want to, cash out early, then they quit, well, you're not gonna get that money back. This way, we've got something set in stone that, if you're at X amount of years, that you can get so much of it or something like that, so. What would you recommend that doing that through a policy or doing that through an actual?
Does the handbook, city handbook deal with payout of vacation?
It doesn't mention anything in it about it. We
That's-
scoured it.
That's what I would
Yeah,
amend the handbook to reflect payout, and you could set up what criteria you would like to.
I think the only thing it may refer to would be a termination of employment, end of employment.
If you're terminated, you don't get anything.
It's something we can take a look at.
How's the council feel on that?
Good with it. I don't even know about the rest of them.
Yeah, if they get some criteria and what others do and kind of put something together, yeah.
Get that back for
Yeah.
next time, okay.
Can I say something from it?
Yes.
I know that there's, okay, thank you. I know that there's some concern with my retirement and where things are gonna go, what direction things are gonna be going in. I hope to think that I do intend to stick around. I'm not leaving the area. I'm not seeking other employment per se. I'll probably have to have something that's suitable, on a part-time basis, and I would like to share my experience within the city, if that's possible, and as long as we can agree on terms. I just wanna get that out on the table. I think it'd be beneficial for both of us. I'll still have somewhat of an income, and I'll be able to share my knowledge with current staff. Not that I wouldn't, but I'd rather do it for a fee. I don't wanna be an engineer by any means, but I do think that that's something that we need to look into, or the council, the mayor.
We've had this discussion.
Okay.
It's been going on, so Bo and I talked about this for quite a while off and on, so. You know, it's like we had another gentleman that retired a couple of years ago. He actually came back to work. He worked a couple days a week. And, you know, it works out great because of his knowledge. So, he makes up to so much, he can make up so much money every year, and after that, he's off and he comes back. So, it's, you know, he just, does he return yet?
Yes,
Okay.
a
So,
little bit of difference, and I don't wanna be personal with that, but he took early retirement and he jumped on Social Security. I'm gonna try to refrain from going on Social Security until I am 67. Not too far away, but like I said, I'm gonna try to refrain from going on Social Security as long as I can afford not to, I will.
but having,
Yeah, I'll need some kind of supplemented income.
but having that knowledge with Bo and then the other gentleman, you know, Jeff, I mean, you just can't pass that up. Because we've got several new employees and the knowledge that both of them have, is beyond what anybody else is going to have altogether.
Well, we want the transition from when Bo retires to the new people to be as seamless as possible.
Yes.
So if he's around as an advisory, we can come to the terms maybe for $1 a week or something. That might work.
So we have to go $1.50 or
Just,
something.
we got 15-second phone call.
Okay. So we'll work on that then. Next item, I have Jesse Trueblood here. He's wanting to, just talk real quick about something for an offer or an option for the employees here. And then I've got one other thing after that.
I'll keep it as brief as possible. We work with Globe Life Liberty National Division. Most of what I do is all with the Worksite Advantage program. It's basically a bundle of voluntary benefits that would be available to the employees of the city. Program doesn't cost anything for the city to participate in. It's basically comes down to voluntary benefits of, we have a group term life that stays with them to age 100 if they so choose to do that. I also have an accident policy that pays on and off duty accidents, a couple other policies, and there are a couple other benefits that are provided free to each employee, just if the city decides to partner with us to allow us to offer those benefits to the employees. So, and I can give you as much information as you need, or if you have any questions, that's fine as well. I don't want to take up too much time sitting and explaining policies. I don't think anybody's too excited about just sitting and talk about it, but I'll answer any questions that you have.
Any questions? He's basically asking the opportunity to come in here and offer some benefits outside of what the city offers, and just wants to get permission to be able to come in there and present it to them. If the employees wanna do something, fine. If they don't, fine.
Exactly. No minimum participation.
Nothing as far as the city's paying anything out or anything like that, so. If you don't have a problem with that, you know, we can set something up with, you come in and talk to the employees and go from there.
You may not want me to use this name, but it's kind of like Aflac type thing.
Same category, but the policies are very different.
If they choose to sign up, and they pay for it then.
Right.
So no problem with that then? Okay. Well, council's okay with all that, so we can get together on that and figure out something in the near future then, okay? All right, thank you, Jesse. Okay, I know at one meeting, this is back to the gym membership, for the employees, just to clarify everything, what the council decided. Gym membership is for employees only, and employees include the fire department, police department, city employees.
Does
So
that
this is
include
brought,
part-time employees or just full-time?
huh?
Does that include part-time or just full-time?
That's what we need to clarify, is that
In-
just
in my
full-time,
department.
or is it the part-time employees as well? I mean,
Well, it was a 50-50 split,
Yeah.
so.
Mr. Mayor, can I elaborate on that, because I just got some new information this morning.
I think he changed the rate on it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. So, just real quick, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted everybody to have the facts. So, I spoke with George Hawkins, and he's, actually going to, give us the 6 months, right? Or, you know what I mean. But if the employees would put in $150, which our people are, you're gonna get a full 1-year membership, right? And then we'll revisit this next year, right? And it's all based on the determination, as I understood it, the last meeting, based on the determination on whom actually participates in this program. Jordan also has a list, up, and he's also gonna capture it on the camera, so when on the login with the key, cause it's 24/7 gym, so every time you swipe the key, it'll acknowledge on the computer, and he can capture all that. And then there's a sign-in roster just for, fire, police, city, whatever. And our people know that they have to in fact sign in as well, and then he's gonna keep that hard documentation, and at the end of the year, he's gonna print off, whom attended and how many times a year, et cetera. So that's gonna show usage, right? But it's $150, for our people, to have the whole year, and that's a savings of about almost $200. So, he's really given us a good deal, our officers, and he's gonna offer that to everyone, not just the police department. So I just wanna let you all know that has changed a little bit. He revisited the numbers, so for a full year on our officer's side, in 6 months, he's gonna have us pay $150. And then, like I said, next year, we can revisit, if our employees collectively, participate, then we can hopefully get a full year next year. But he gave us a huge discount, or gave you all, he really even cut it more back, so. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I just wanna make sure everybody's clear on what's going on, cause there's some questions, so. Are we doing the part-time?
How many part-timers you got?
In my department, currently only one. Well, 2. And I don't think either one of them are interested.
No,
But I don't, if we do summer help, seasonal, part-time, I don't know if we wanna offer it to them, because they're only here for a few months out of the season, in the summer.
I personally feel like it just ought to be for the full-time.
one more thing I forgot, I'm sorry. So, he also, so like Morgan and I, we leave Sunday, for the academy, so we'll be gone for 4 months. And then Ross is gonna be leaving in July. So he is also going, or somebody has to go to a fire school, or Bo sends somebody to an extensive, long school, a couple months, or even a month. He will actually stop that date, and then restart it when we get back. So we're not gonna lose those months when Morgan and I and Ross are gone for 4 months. He will reinstate that 4 months on our contract, so that's another good deal, so.
Yes, Gary.
You said you was concerned about the part-time employees, being able to, capture this. Would it not be to the best interest of the city, to the part-time, if they wanna pay the $150 or whatever to do this, that maybe that'll entice them to be an employee of the city later on, full-time employee?
It's something we can look at, maybe up to them, but
I mean, they're gonna pay the money anyway, right, for the training?
I think, well, the part-time that we have is, one's retired,
They're both retired.
you know, so.
But I mean, it might help, like high school kids coming out next year, working for the city, to get into this program and continue on. Just a thought.
Thank you. Nothing else left, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I second.
Oh, it's a good idea. All in favor?
Well, maybe Brandon can get back to working out.
My shoulders are, I tell you what, I'm crawling around in ceiling of the spa over there. I'm not as young as I used to be.
I know, I can't hardly straighten up either.
So he had me, escort
My first day on my own.
Yeah.